I never changed from the get-go. I like my privacy, I need that jet, yeah. Conversations drive that pussy wet, though. Better hit my line, cause I don't text hoes. So my soul, my heart's on let go. Doors wide open if your legs close. Ay, richer than I am, my fucking neck froze. I could cop a couple chains like where his neck goes. See, heaven's kinda far, I need that jet, yeah.
YouTube, it's your girl B here again, and today I am here with Zay, formerly known as X Brody. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've been doing music for, good Lord, since second grade. That's all. That's pretty much me. I'm a very expressive guy. I'm a person that I'm very empathetic. I like to put myself into different people's shoes and try to figure out a way to help them know that someone else out in the world understands them. So in my life, that's kind of my journey, is to create a sound that basically lets other people feel like they're not alone in the world. So whether it be men or black men who have emotion, but obviously we're not allowed to put it out there and take it, and say it without saying, oh, he's not strong because he feels a certain way. And I put it out in music, and then I'm going to be successful with it, and then it'll become an image that other people can have. I'm a leader in my community. I do a lot of community service on the side. I don't know, I'm just me. I can't really, I'm just, I don't know, just a person that likes to be himself and be artistic and open-minded and help the world however I can.
Right. Well-rounded. Okay, of course. Everybody likes that. And that's something that you're actually going to need, going forward, right, especially if you continue to pursue a career in music. Would you like to see yourself in music 2 to 5 years down the road as your main career choice?
Oh, hopefully before that. Yeah, I'll take next month. Okay. Tomorrow if I could. Okay. But definitely, it's going to be, but I'm not just going to limit it to that. Eventually, right, I'm going to try to branch off into other things. It just so happens that this is something that I can control, so okay, I'm choosing the music for right now.
Gotcha. Now I noticed you said that you've actually been doing music since the second grade. Would you say that was the first time you really realized, okay, hey, this is my thing, I want to do this, I want to pursue this, I want to make this like my baby?
Second grade. Well, I don't really think I was that serious at that time. I think the whole well, just a little backstory behind it. I started doing it because I kind of didn't feel like there was a way for me to write about things I was feeling. Being in like a Christian home and stuff like that, you can't really just say and do whatever you want. So for me, it was just writing poems. I was just writing little things like, I would hide them to say, I hate my dad, because he wasn't there, and things like that. And I just started making them rhyme, and I would write these poems about pain and how I felt being alone, or other kids having their dads come to a career day and shit, and me telling my mom don't show up because that's just as embarrassing, So eventually, I started putting it to a beat. Obviously, there was other younger artists out around the time, and any kid wanted to be just like them. So I just started putting beats to it. I showed my mom, and she said, "Oh no, you got to do some gospel to that." So actually, I was a gospel rapper originally. Made my first demo when I was in 7th grade, so like 500 copies of it. Wow. And that's when I realized that this is what I want to do, because it made people feel something. Like I had a song called I Need You, and being so young and making a church of older people, and mixed crowd, but older people, emotional and jump up and do, and feel what I was feeling was like overwhelming at the time, but it was just like, I need to talk. I need to talk. So even after the shows, I would talk and mentor, preach a little bit, and then I do my song, and then I mentor a little bit, and I do it, and it made people feel something. So that's what I do.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay, so I can see the passion in it. Even as you speak, it's almost as meant. Like, hey, this was meant for you to do.
Oh yeah.
Meant for you to explore.
Yeah.
All right. So with that being said, do you have any musical artists that you looked up to back then? And what about now?
Oh shit, can I say that? Because he got such a bad rap these days. But I mean, I can't lie. The first rapper I wanted to be like was about like Lil Bow Wow and shit.
Lil Bow Wow?
Yeah. I mean, I can't. I mean, how the fuck could you not want to be him
Right.
back then when you were that young too? You know, I even got cornrows and shit when I was younger. I wanted to do that. I remember having like this shit on the CD. CDs used to skip when the car moved and stuff. And that's kind of how I first wanted to do it. But again, living in a Christian household, I didn't get to listen to just any kind of music. So I guess that's why that was probably one of the first rappers I can recall listening to. Besides that, my mom had me listen to Now CDs. I don't know if you know what those are.
Yeah, now like Kids Bop.
It the adult version. So it's like Now had the Kids Bop was like all kids, but Now CDs were like, now this is what I call music with like all types of it, with country, pop, rock, rap, you know, a couple, you know, anything that was probably, you know, suitable for the radio. And you'll find that in my sound. That's why you don't necessarily hear me just doing like straight hip hop or anything, because I've grown up around. I would listen to rappers, Nelly, and I would listen to NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. I also listened to Tim McGraw, and it was just every type of music you could have, and just put it in one person. Now, my bigger influences are people around me. I probably have to say currently probably be Dre the East and Trey Scarborough. Trey Scarborough is like the producer I had since I've been in college. And yeah, so you know, with the singing and stuff, he's kind of been my coach. So definitely where I go with.
Okay, you kind of answered my next question, which was going to be, you know, do you have any role models that you would say you look up to? So would you say like
me?
You?
Oh
okay.
Thank the Lord for me.
Right.
Because that's the only person I can see in the mirror. You know, I mean, I don't really know. Role models it's cool to look at somebody else's life, but you don't really know. You know, things can look a certain way at all times, but you don't really know. I know the struggle that I went through. I remember being homeless. I remember leaving my house and no one being there for me. I remember my mom turning her back when the stepdad said he has to go just because I was doing a studio session. I remember making it to college on my own. Excuse me. My mom right now, she's going to have to talk to her later. But yeah, I remember doing that, coming to college on my own. My principal dropping me off. Not everybody's family's been with him. I remember being there, rapping, dancing myself song on stage, and people booing me before I got up there, and then I sang the song, and everyone stands up. I remember it. So I'm my role model. You know, I look up to me.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Would you say that your struggle is what pushes you to continue doing what you're doing creatively?
No. I say that my knowledge that someone else is struggling is what pushes me to do it daily. Because, I mean, I'm going to get out of it because I'm a survivor, but I do know I'm not going to sit here and say I ever did anything alone. You know, granted, I mentioned those things, but like I said, my principal brought me here. Someone was always around during the journey. You know, the universe put somebody in my life to keep me okay the whole way. And, you have to make those conscious decisions. But I know out of this huge world, I'm not the only person that's dealing with a situation. So what I'm challenged to do is to continue to push when I feel like I want to go to sleep or stop, or like, damn, I can't. If I do that, then I'm not only am I giving up on myself, I'm giving up on putting my mom in a better house. I'm giving up on my future children. I'm giving up on my future wife. I'm giving up on the kid that needs to look at the TV 10 years from now and look at this interview when you're popping on YouTube and say, shit, yo, like, he really did that. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, and it doesn't even have to be music. I don't think that the world is, the only successful people are fucking celebrities. I mean, I could be a person that dreamed of building bridges, and I would have still pushed that hard for that little person that felt the same way. So.
Wow.
Well.
Okay, yeah, you said a lot there. Okay, I want you to keep doing what you're doing, for real. Like, seriously. I know you have an upcoming album titled Vulnerable. Damn. Tell me a little bit about Vulnerable and what, where the title came from, where your concept came from.
The idea of Vulnerable is, y'all actually kind of said it. You said Scorpio, lover boy, right? Well, let's just say being that way in the world definitely had its downfalls. You know how that goes when it comes to relationships, and not just guy, girl, and dating. Either relationships with friends, parents, just people that really care, are empathetic, and care a lot. You tend to put people first, and you're very, again, when you love hard enough, you're very vulnerable. But it's, to me, at one point I kept seeing it as a weakness, but then I realized it takes some type of strength to be weak, if that makes sense, to be vulnerable. It's easy to put up a guard or say, I don't give a fuck, I don't care, and lie to yourself all the time. That's the common thing to do. But to be someone that is willing to be scared enough to jump in a relationship a year after you were just in one, to be the type of person that continue to try to build friendships even though you've had people that aren't loyal to you, continuing to, just love the people in the world, although you got people that won't even say thank you when you hold the door for them. So there's a strength in that vulnerability. I mean, even, when you think about our greatest leaders, say like Jesus, right? He was always teaching love, and he had enough strength to walk on water. Martin Luther King, he was leading multiple people, but what was his main thing? Love. I mean, since the beginning of time, love has been that thing. And having love and really loving is a sense of vulnerability. If you look at the cover, you'll see a woman hovering above what looks like a bunch of hands or demons and things like that, and you'll see one of them that's attached to her. That one would be me, and I feel like I've been in situations where my love has been able to save somebody. But if you notice, I'm also down there with the demons because it's always two sides to the story that I didn't tell at first, and that side is I had my bad sides that also tore this thing apart. Luckily, my love overdid everything, and it helped out. But at the same rate, so she's hovering and coming from what was before, and she has the ability to leave, but you don't see her reaching out helping me. And that comes from the ideal of when you find someone who you see is broken, where they were in a bad relationship, and you show them what good is, and show them, and you allow them to see how beautiful they truly are. It's not something that you created, you just made them aware of it. Some people take that gas in their car and just leave. That is what I feel like happened a few times. So there you go. So if you listen to the album forward, you'll see it was her fault as to why things didn't sit together. But if you listen to it backwards, you'll see my fuck ups and alcohol and wanting to party in college and all that extra shit. A lot of it is my fault as well. So then you get both sides being vulnerable.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful concept, actually. Okay, now with all of that being said, I'm sure my viewers and, of course, the people that you bring along to watch as well would like to know if you have any events coming up so they could possibly meet you in person.
So currently we got an event coming up on Thursday. That's April the 11th. Yeah, that's the 11th, right? Yep. Me and my partner, Dre the East. Fucking GOAT. You got one of these with him?
No, I was actually
very soon. Let's get that happening. Me and him we booked out Raptor Social Club downtown Greenville. Trying to create we're not trying to create a culture. We're trying to allow the culture that's already here to go there and have a good time, especially people so that y'all can get in.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? It's not a race thing at all. I'm not a whole pro this, pro that. I just want a place where everybody can actually go. You know, so we got Deucey Gold coming, who's a pretty popular guy that's coming out of Greenville right now. I actually just heard some of his stuff, and he's pretty good actually. So we thought that we'd go ahead and get that done. Contracts, everything's been filled out, and that's been signed. So Thursday. So we got everything going for us. So.
Perfect. Okay, so I do have one last question for you. Do you have any advice for artists who are out here trying to do their thing and just trying to pursue a career, as a creative?
Yeah. Based on my personal experience, I think that any artist that's out there should realize that what they're doing is a service to people. And the only way to be successful in it is to serve people. We got to lose that mentality of trying to act like we're already some type of famous celebrity. Even famous celebrities can't continue to do what they do unless they serve the people. Why do you think they go to the club and buy bottles? Right. People want something from you. You have to give them something in order for them to sow into you. Numbers matter. That's something I've learned over time. Numbers do matter. I don't give a damn how talented you are. The way the industry is now, your numbers got to match what you're saying. Don't be afraid to put your shit out, even if it's not all that yet.
Yeah.
That shows growth, and it shows something. Trying to shoot the damn ball is a lot better than just keeping it because you're like hesitant and scared like I've been. And I just started mixing my own shit just because I was like, if I don't, I mean, it's okay, but I don't want to put it out there. And now you know, you got all these other people just outgrowing me, and it's like, and you see their stuff, and you're like, it's not even that good. But you think about it, they have a lot of it, and people want substance.
Right.
Just try. You never know what other people like. Don't overthink yourself.
Right.
Whatever sounds like you is you. If you're singing out of key, who gives a damn? Just sing that shit to your heart's content. Put it out there. Have fun doing it. Exactly. Invest. Smart. Smart investments. Don't let people trick you. Read every contract and support other people around you. Right. They'll in turn support you too. So.
I think that's really awesome advice, especially when you talk about, just, putting content out there, because people actually go from, documentation. They like to see your growth. They don't like to see, okay, well, you just popped up out of nowhere with this amazing video or whatever. They want to see how you got there because they're trying to get there as well. All right, you guys, but that is it. Thank you for tuning in for another interview with Bianca. Now, of course, if you've watched this far, what are you doing? I'm going to need you guys to go ahead and stop, like, and subscribe. Woo!
Subscribe. Bianca Speaks.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. I just want to thank y'all for tuning in. My name is Zay. You can follow me on all social media platforms. That's Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, @xbrody. That's not changing, even though the name did. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's Xavier Brody. That's XAVIER BRODIE. I got a lot of content out there, a lot of freestyles, a lot of singing, a lot of full music videos, and even got a short film for y'all called Say No that just released. And also look me up as X Brody on Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, and all other music platforms. All right. It's way too easy to make mistakes. Way too easy to make you stay. Way too easy to getting late. Way too easy, babe. Now who should I call?